Hey guys,
Hey.
we are jumping on because we've had a lot of questions in regards to how everything's going with our latest our IVF journey or fertility journey, I guess. Infertility? I don't know. But we've had a lot of questions. What's the date today, hon?
21st.
So it's the 21st of June. I don't even know when the last time is that we posted a video. It's been quite some time. And I told Chris today, I was like, let's just do it. Let's just get it done. Let's get it done. So anyways, that's what this is. We're just taking the time out really quick to do it. But our last video that we posted, we had a transfer. Do you remember the date?
Mm-mm.
I don't remember the date either. I want to say it was the end of March.
Probably.
Yeah. So I had a transfer done like the end of March. And this was all during COVID-19. And so it was kind of like actually nice because I was supposed to be doing a volleyball tournament right after the transfer, which I was kind of nervous about. But all that got canceled. And so it was kind of nice to just be home and to be resting. And then found out I was pregnant, and then they put me, I had a subchronic hematoa, and then they put me on bed rest. Went in after bed rest, and the doctor found a heartbeat, and we were pretty early, so he was even shocked to find the heartbeat, and I think that was the last video that we shared. But we haven't done anything since. And reasons why is because...
Videos?
Yeah, why haven't we done any videos?
So we've been busy.
Well, yes, but why haven't we? Why did we just kind of
Because it didn't work.
it didn't work.
It didn't work out.
Because it didn't work. Yeah, so I had what they call a missed miscarriage, basically kind of where things still continue on, your body still feels like you're pregnant, you're still having pregnancy symptoms, your sac can continue to grow, but you don't really miscarry. And so it was different from previous miscarriages that I've had, because I kind of felt like I was I've had symptoms where I felt like I was pregnant afterwards still, because your hormones are still adjusting, but this one I still felt pretty pregnant. And then the progesterone that I was on, but they were monitoring me. And so basically the next doctor's appointment that we went into, and it was with Dr. Folk again, he said that my sac was collapsing, which means that it wasn't going to be a viable pregnancy. And I think the initial shock, I think both Chris and I were just done. Don't you think so, hon? I think we just were just over it. I felt that way. I just remember finally feeling like it was going in the right direction. And I hate this. This is why we don't do videos, because we've kind of moved past it, but this is rehatching old feelings and emotions. But I don't want to say we've moved past it because it's always a part of us, but it's hard. But and I just kind of didn't believe it. I was just nope, I feel like this is gonna work. I feel like I've had confirmation. I feel like this, I just was really in denial. But I think deep down, I knew something wasn't right, but and it was so misleading because I still felt it. I think even up to a couple weeks after, I kept telling Chris, I was like, well, maybe. I kept trying to give myself hope. Thinking that some miracle was gonna happen, and it just never. I don't know, I think for 3 or 4 weeks I did. Because I never really had anything. I mean, they put me on the medication, which is pretty crappy, to try to get my body to start the process a little bit quicker, because there was nothing there. But And still, even then, like, I still, like, my system has never really gotten back to normal. Like, I was just telling him, like, it's the 21st of June, and I probably had the miscarriage, like, end of April, beginning of May-ish time, something like that, like, middle, somewhere in there, April to, like, mid-May, and I still haven't even had, like, my cycle get back to normal. So that's where it's at. That's where we're at. I don't know. Like, hon, you want to pipe in here?
There's not much to say. I mean, dove back into work. But there's not much, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing really else to talk about.
I mean, so Dr. Polk after that one did say, like, you know, even though you've had past miscarriages, like, where we've gone in and been able to actually see, like, an embryo and all this stuff, like, he still tried to, like, give hope, but at the same time, he was kind of like, now's the time let's look at our other options. Let's see the other options. Like, yeah, we could sit here and keep trying with you, and you're gonna have this maybe possibly again and again, and maybe it might work out, but let's look at other options. So I kind of just told Chris afterwards, I was like, I need a timeout. Like, I need a break. I need to feel like I can be in control of my body, because I haven't felt like I'm in control of my body, and I just wanted to not eat, drink, sleep thinking about having a baby and thinking about starting a family, because we had invested so much effort and time and just, like, energy into this for the last year and a half with IVF, with the actual fertility specialist, but for, like, the last 6 years we've been working towards this. And so I just was like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to say I gave up hope having a baby or having a family, but I just kind of gave this whole, like, moment with, and I told Chris, I said, if this one out of everyone, if it came to, it made me sit there and say, okay, Holy Father, if I'm not meant to have kids, I can accept that. But I don't want to have false hope. I don't want to sit there and think that I can, and then I just was done. Like, I'm done, you know? And so I've really put it on the back burner and in the back of my mind. I think Chris has. I think we're in a place where it's just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, okay. Like, that's, I don't know. Do you feel that way?
We've done all we can, physically possible.
Yeah.
So our next move is just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Like, I feel like we've sought out help.
We've done everything on our
We've
part.
gone the medical route. We've tried to do what we can. Like, I've tried numerous times. This now made 7 or 8. Can you remember? 7. This now made 7, you know, testing positive, and then now it not working out. And so I was just like, okay. And our embryos, like, we have 6 left. Yeah, because we've done we've done
6.
5.
6.
We've done 4 transfers, and that's not including the 4 miscarriages I had prior to even starting to search out the fertility specialist and finding answers. And then one of the transfers, we transferred 2 embryos to see if that would work. So this was,
so we have more than 7.
Yeah, with the embryos. And we've had our embryos PGS tested, so we know it's not a chromosomal issue. It's me. And Dr. Folk, when he went in to see, like, about the endometriosis and everything, and, like, I felt amazing after the surgery. And so we definitely thought, like, okay, this is going to work out, because he found an infection.
Scar tissue.
Yeah, like, all the scar tissue, and, like, this is going to work out. And then when I got pregnant right away, I was like, sweet, this is really going to work out. And then at our last ultrasound, he was kind of like, it's probably adenomyosis, which is something in my uterus that doesn't allow the embryos to like to implant, because he puts them in the perfect spot and and it's just like, yeah, like it's, so who knows, like, do I just stay on bed rest the whole time, which I would not do well on bed rest. I didn't even do well for the 1 week I was supposed to be on bed rest. Like, I was going insane. I don't do well when they want me to be on bed rest or princess days. Like, I just don't do well with it. But I don't know. I guess for me, like, it was more, this time was more like, okay, if it means that I don't ever physically get to carry, like, yeah, it sucks. Big time to not really be able to go through the full term of a pregnancy, or to think about that and to be able to experience the actual labor and all those things. Like, I may never have that opportunity, and that's something that I like have accepted now, and I don't want to say I'm okay with, but I'm just like, okay, I'm numb to it. I don't know. And I just feel for women that, like, have that in their lives where they weren't able to bear children themselves, or experience that. Like, it's something I think as young girls, like, we look up, or I mean, especially like in the gospel, like, we look forward to that, and we look forward to like having that bonding experience with the children before they even get to come here. And so it's like, okay, like, I may not be in that boat, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, I'm here. Like, yeah, obviously it's still making me emotional, just because it's a hard pill to swallow, but I don't know, like, I don't know, it sucks. I feel like I get on here and I'm always like, yeah, it's super, like, it's all gonna work out, and don't get me wrong, I do believe that God has a plan, and I believe that it's in His time and He's gonna work everything out. But it doesn't mean that it makes this easier. Like, it just sucks. Like, that's the easiest way I can put it, is like, it's just kind of sucky on both parts. But I don't know. Fun?
It sucks.
It sucks.
That's the easiest way to put it. Something that you don't take lightly. It's not one of those things that, you know, if it happens over and over again, it's not one of those things you're like, well, no, it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, what's next, blah, blah, blah. But no, this one, it's like everyone takes
a little bit of you.
And it takes a piece of you, and you don't want to be like that person at the end of the story. You'd be like, all pieces missing and stuff like that, and light showing through it. So it's hard. I mean, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder on her for the physicality part, but it definitely takes a piece of me as well. But like we said, we tried to do everything that we know we can do, or that we physically can do.
Yeah. I think it's better we're doing this now, because probably, like, this video now, if we would have did it right in the moment, which I thought about,
I wouldn't have been in it.
Well, we would have just been, like, pissed. Like, I mean, it just wouldn't have been good.
No.
Because we just were over it. Like, we completely turned it off. We flipped Vampire Diaries. Flipped the switch, honey. We're watching Vampire Diaries right now, so.
Well, my humanity switch was switched off.
We switched it off.
It was definitely switched off.
And we just,
everything.
Yeah, we just, like, got.
But that's what sucks with something like this. It's not like, because usually I can put on like at funerals and stuff like that, I can be the strong one, and like even like grandparents passing away and stuff like that, I was the strong one, you know. And I found my time later. But with something like this, it was completely different, because I don't know, not the fact that it happened to us, but like, and especially this last one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There was no being strong. So for me, I had to physically flip off a switch. Like literally.
I think this last one, because we had like finally felt like we found so many answers to what was going on with my body, that this last one we were like really, really hopeful. And hearing a heartbeat and all these things, like we were just like, okay, like this is gonna happen. And right now I would be, I think, 15 weeks pregnant, and I get these little reminders, and I'm just like, I gotta delete this. Like I can't look at this crap anymore because it's not a reality, and it's not there. And I think even harder with past miscarriages is like, it was like I would start bleeding and I just would bleed. Like, so we knew. This one was so different because I didn't. I had the subchronic hematoa and then nothing, you know, and so it was giving me this false hope for weeks. Like, yeah, I still haven't really, you know, blooded out, but my HCG levels went back to 0 because I had those tested like I think 2 weeks ago, a week ago, not too long ago. Like, so I know that they went back to 0, like actually a couple weeks ago. So I know it's not like there's nothing viable there, but it just sucked because it was so different. Like I didn't have cramping, I didn't have
Well, you said you didn't feel like a disconnect this time either.
yeah, like it was weird, and it just kind of sucked. Like you go along thinking everything's hunky-dory, and then it's like boom, no, it's not actually. Like I was so hopeful walking into that
last ultrasound.
yeah, that ultrasound. And then I was even like, well, maybe it's the machine because we weren't in the same room that we were in the last one. And so I like tell Chris, I was like, like I would try to make every excuse in the world because I just didn't want to accept.
Another one.
Yeah. I didn't want to accept that it was like another loss.
Like I think for us, if the first ultrasound didn't show what it did, it would not have been as hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it would have been hard, but not as hard.
Yeah, because like you said, everyone takes a little piece of us, but I just feel like we just were so hopeful.
This last one was definitely a chunk.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make that switch back on too.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like even doing like this video, it's like it brings back all the numbing feelings.
Well, because we
that.
just like harbored so much of it. Like we just threw it in the box and tied it up and said bye-bye. Like, you know, you just kind of just went on. Like we gave ourselves a little bit of a time to mourn, you and I did. And then we just like jumped into life. Like I think that's how we self-medicated in a way for ourselves. Like I got crazy in work. Chris started to pick up with a lot of his stuff with work too. And so we just like, okay, back to life, back to normal. Like, and now talking about this because people have reached out and they're like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, oh, and that like hits me every single time that I have to say that. And people are like, I'm so sorry. But now I'm kind of like, I still am kind of numb to it. And they probably think I'm being insensitive because I'm just like, oh, it's fine, I'm okay. Because I've turned it off. I've flipped the switch. Like, I mean, he's done the same thing. He's just, you know, this is probably the first time we've talked about it.
Yeah. Since
the week of and the couple weeks of. I mean, about the actual loss, really. But, I don't know. I'm in a time of a timeout and taking control of my body and just feeling good, feeling like, I told Chris I just want to feel hormone free, medication free, like birth control free, everything free for a little bit, which I feel like if I call and tell them about my cycle, they're gonna be like, you need to go back on birth control. I'll be like, no. But I don't know. We're just taking a little time out.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're having crazy hair. From COVID. I had like I did my own hair and it was really bad, so I went and got it done once we started to open back up. But yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
No, you just kind of look like you're like, I don't know. Well, and we are looking into other forms of possibilities with our circumstances. Like, we're just trying to see what we can do, and like we have some promising things, but I think Chris and I are just both like, until it's like in our face.
Until it's set in stone.
Yeah.
I think you guys will just have to wait for the next video.
Yeah. But like, and I don't even think we really believe it, because like some family members that are close to us will be like, "Oh, are you guys excited?" We're like, "What?" I do that, and I'm like, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
It's because we've been I mean, I don't want to say let down so much, but we've just been like.
But that's what it is.
The carrot's been there so much, and we're just like, it's there. If it actually comes, or if it falls in our lap, then we'll be a little bit more like.
There's some
excited.
stuff in the works, though.
Yeah. And I do feel like Heavenly Father's hand is in that stuff, just because of how things have progressed and manifested, and just kind of how it's all like coming together. And that's something that I think we're also just trying to like keep to ourselves about until it's a little bit more concrete. And so we haven't given up hope in having our own little family.
Oh, we will one day.
Yeah, we're determined. It will happen. But we're just taking a time out from me trying to do it right now. And if we feel differently in the future, like, we will approach that bridge when it comes, and go from there. But if you guys don't see videos for a while in regards to this, like, we're just taking a time out. But those of you that are trying to find out for yourselves as far as like your own fertility, like, and what's going on, I will say, if anything, even though this time in my life it may have not worked out for me, I'm so grateful that I have answers now. Like, wouldn't you think so, hon? Like, that it's not like we're just like.
No, it wasn't all for nothing, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that we did find out was pretty vital.
Yeah.
Like, and it's stuff that we would not have found out if we didn't go the IVF route.
No.
So, with health concerns concerning her, it was crucial for us to find out certain things.
And I think I'm kind of, not like I'm like this special person or anything like that, because I don't think this is anything to be special about, but I think I'm a rarity with everything that they have kind of found. Usually, and even my doctor said that, like, usually it's like one, maybe two things, but you're like boom, 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 boom. And so I do think there's hope for those of you out there that are still looking to do this yourselves, or if you're looking for answers. I think it's, I don't have any regrets.
We don't want to deter anybody.
Yeah.
This is just our story.
Yeah, and I don't have any regrets of even for everything that we've experienced and gone through, because I'm grateful. You know, I never would have known that I had an infection.
No.
Like, in my body, if we wouldn't have. Yeah, like, I would have never known some of the things, like, I have a blood clotting disorder. Like, I would have never found out some of this stuff, like, if we didn't search, you know, and try to figure it out. And so I'm grateful for my health, because it's taught me how to take care of my body better and how to be more aware of things with it. So I don't downplay that, any of that. And I think IVF or IUIs or any of that stuff, I think a lot of it works for people. And I don't want you guys to feel like just because it didn't work right now for us, it's not gonna work for you, because that's not the point of this. Like, I don't think we regret this at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't regret it. I don't regret going through the IVF journey, and I don't regret trying, and I don't regret any of that. I just don't think that. I think it's a lot better to be more concrete and working with a doctor than what we did prior, where it was just like, okay, let's try to get pregnant this month. Okay, let's try to get pregnant. And then having like this whole like testing and it's negative, testing and it's negative, or testing and this or that or this, or finding out that I was pregnant. And I'm like, oh, I'm pregnant. You know, like, how many times it's like, by the way, I'm pregnant. Oh, by the way, it's too late. Like, you know, just so many things. I'm thankful that I found out along the process of what was going on during that time. But anything else, Mr. Man? No. Yeah, so it'll all work out in time eventually for you and your own journey or whatever you're going through. I do think that, and I think it'll work out for us. huh?
Mm-hmm.
It'll work out. But thank you guys for all your support and for watching. And as always, this is really just a lot easier for us to do it this way than to explain the story every time that we talk to people and meet people. Huh. Chris doesn't love it, but
It's because I don't talk about it.
he doesn't even talk about it to me.
Nope.
Yeah, but men do go through it too.
A little bit.
They go through it too. Okay, well, thanks guys for watching and thanks for your support. Like I said, if you don't see anything from us for a little while, we're just taking a time out.
We're still here.
We're still here. But thanks again.